start again. It's a redskin.
What's going on, everybody? It's the Aidan Sports Show, and welcome back to another video. Today we've got a Chicago Bulls related video, and this one's referring to some of the latest news around plays that we've discussed already on this channel before. Just giving you guys a quick update on some of these things. Some of these things I may have already said before, and other things I failed to mention, but at the end of the day, this is just to bring everything together and give you the absolute latest that I remember out of the Chicago Bulls news that has been happening as of late. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about these pieces of news that have been coming around from the Chicago Bulls. And overall, these are not just Chicago Bulls related news. Obviously, there are teams in the NBA, teams that are interested in some of these players that will be affected by this news as well. But the Chicago Bulls should also be someone that should be affected by this news as well. And that's pretty much where I'm getting at. And hopefully that'll be something that we can see down the line. The Chicago Bulls make some sort of move for some of these players. And we're going to have to wait and see on these things. But first things first, to the official news. The Chicago Bulls, I made this video last night, and I will pretty much update you with this same thing again. Marko has signed with the Chicago Bulls. A pretty decent move in my opinion for the Chicago Bulls. Fresh blood into the team, someone that can make an impact offensively, maybe take a replacement for Larry Marketing, who really knows. But at the end of the day, I feel like this is a terrific move in terms of the Chicago Bulls. He's a rookie. He's going to get paid a lot less than what someone else would need to do for that position. He is someone that can be decent. He's someone that looks good, especially in the paint production type of area. That's where I see most of his buckets coming from, the paint, which is great to see considering we are a slashing team. And again, he has a little bit of a jump shot to his game as well. Very good move in my opinion for the Chicago Bulls, and that is the news I'll update you with you now over the course of what's been happening over the few days. This is the only official news that's been come out for the Chicago Bulls, something that's officially happened with our team, and that is very good to see. Marko will be a Chicago Bulls player. Let's hope we can see him in the Summer League coming soon. Next things that happened with the Chicago Bulls, something else I've also mentioned, and something else I will mention again as it relates to the news. DeJounte Murray, a player that has been recently linked to the Chicago Bulls due to some rumors and due to some subtle hints that Zach LaVine is trying to persuade Murray to come to the Chicago Bulls. At the end of the day, he's responded to these rumors, and I'll show you the photo of what he said once again here. And yeah, it's a very interesting topic of discussion. He's someone I'm a very big fan of, and at the end of the day, I would love to see this guy join the Chicago Bulls. He's a very interesting talent. He's a very, very hard worker. And again, he's been working under Greg Popovich for his entire career. What more could you want out of a player, in my opinion? And he can fit that system as well in the Chicago Bulls, as we are a very big ball movement oriented team. Very interesting over there. Something I'd really like the Chicago Bulls to consider down the line. Next one is going to be in relation to Ben Simmons. Now, this is not Chicago Bulls official news, but at the end of the day, Ben Simmons, there's been open talks, open communication that the Philadelphia 76ers are willing to listen to trade talks for Ben Simmons. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that Ben Simmons is leaving the Philadelphia 76ers. At the end of the day, this just means that if there's an offer on the table that Philadelphia can't refuse, they are listening, and they could very well accept any trade for Ben Simmons, which means the Chicago Bulls, if the priority is Ben Simmons, I very much doubt that it is. But if there is an opportunity there, I know many of the people that watch these videos like Ben Simmons as a point guard or someone that can maybe help this team. At the end of the day, there are obvious weaknesses to Ben Simmons, but the positives may, for many people, outweigh those negatives. Regardless of what you think, if the Chicago Bulls' priority is Ben Simmons, then there is an availability there if we were able to make a trade. And maybe it would be a difficult trade to do, an impossible trade to do, but that's the news. There's an openness for the Philadelphia 76ers to listen to trades. If there's a trade there that we can make, there's a possibility Ben Simmons could come to the Chicago Bulls. I feel this one is extremely unlikely, but at the end of the day, there is an aspect there. The Chicago Bulls have been interested in a player like Ben Simmons before. I've talked about Ben Simmons before on this channel. Again, as an Australian, I really enjoy Ben Simmons, and I think he could do well for this team. Maybe not as the point guard, as a power forward, but regardless, wherever he plays, he would be an upgrade in that position. So I'm very excited to see what Ben Simmons' future will be. With Chicago, without Chicago, if it's in Philly or if it's another team, it's going to be very interesting to see what he's going to be able to do in the NBA. in the long term. And the Chicago Bulls, if they are interested, this is their opportunity here to see if there's a possibility. At the end of the day, we will wait and see. The next piece of news, and probably the last piece of news that I really have to mention, and this is an interesting one as well, is that Lonzo Ball could leave the New Orleans Pelicans in free agency. At the end of the day, it was reported, I believe, by Shams that if there was a big offer given to Lonzo Ball, they will not stand in the way of allowing that team to give Lonzo Ball that contract, and of course Lonzo Ball leaving to go and accept that contract. So pretty much that means if the Chicago Bulls spent a large sum of money that we do have at the end of the day, we have a lot of money in terms of cap space. If we want to give it all to Lonzo Ball, then at the end of the day, we could very well have Lonzo Ball on this team next season, because they're not going to accept or match an offer that's massive if we offer a massive contract. That's basically the news around Lonzo Ball, and we are very, very much linked with him. I believe the Knicks are still interested. Obviously, the Clippers have been rumored to be very interested. The Chicago Bulls have been rumored to be very interested. So the two teams right now are the Clippers and the Bulls, in my opinion, that are really, really interested in this player, Lonzo Ball. So we have competition there. Lonzo Ball and the Clippers would be a very decent fit, in my opinion. They've been needing a playmaker for a long time now. Reggie Jackson, as good as he's been in these playoffs, is not really a playmaker. So it kind of gives them a new dynamic at the end of the day. That's going to be good for the Clippers if they could get him. But for the Chicago Bulls, this player could mean absolutely everything to our season next year. And he could be very interesting. He's a fantastic playmaker. He's a very solid defender as well. And one of the elite defenders at the point guard position. And he has the capability and the room to improve. Him and Javonte Murray are probably my two favorites in that position at this point in time. And it's great to see that we are linked to both of those players, because those are two great players that can fit the system that we have very, very well. So the Chicago Bulls should have every right to be interested in this race, and we should win this race if we're going to offer a large sum. It is what it is. I don't know what the sum's going to be that is considered large. I would say around 20 to 25 million is probably going to be this large sum that we're going to give Lonzo Ball, or the large sum that will make the Pelicans not stand in the way of matching that contract. And if that happens, then he'll be a Chicago Bull. I've said this before and I'll say it again. It's very difficult to say if we should overpay for Lonzo Ball, but it's up to the Bulls right now. If the Bulls really, really believe that Lonzo Ball will be the key to take us to a decent team, to adjust the playoff team, to a contending team in the East, maybe go on to be something even greater than that. If Lonzo Ball is one of the key factors to that, then at the end of the day, I feel like it's okay to overpay. Not overly overpay, but overpay for a player like Lonzo Ball, and in hopes that Zach LaVine will also commit his future to the Chicago Bulls. So that's the element that we have here. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. At the end of the day, Lonzo Ball is probably the top priority for the Bulls. I believe that. I know many people believe that. And he's probably the favorite, in my opinion, to get that point guard position for us. And there's no secret now that we are truly interested in him. So it's all a waiting game at this point in time to see what Lonzo Ball will be able to do, what the Pelicans will be able to do, and if we have a chance or not. That's our first priority at the end of the day. It feels like that's our first priority, and it feels like this is the guy that we are truly going to get. And that's an interesting thing. That's a good thing at the end of the day as well. It's a fantastic feat to know that we are interested in players that I feel like fans really want, and someone that we can clearly see will fit our team. That's always an interesting part. That's always the part that makes me happy, is that we can truly see what this guy can add to the team. We've been given players, we've been trading for players that we don't really see a future in, or we don't really see the progression of the team in that player. We don't see a destination. With Lonzo Ball, you see progression. You see the future. You see what we can be, and you see what he can bring to a team like ours. So that's always a positive as well. And the fact that he wants to play here as well, it makes it even more better, in my opinion. And that's the news, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of it was on Lonzo Ball, because that's probably the biggest one for the Chicago Bulls. But we talked about Ben Simmons in this video and his potential openness to a trade by Philadelphia. Very interesting there. Could potentially be a move down the line. Unlikely. We'll wait and see. Javonte Murray, rumors about him getting, I guess, persuaded by Zach LaVine to join the Bulls. didn't really decline the rumors, did he? He just said it's up in the air at the moment. I guess he's making the door open, and let's see what the Bulls can do. We talked about Marko. I mentioned him last night, and I'll mention him today. Joining the Chicago Bulls officially. Great to see. Young blood, fresh blood. Let's see what he's capable of. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Have a wonderful and safe day, Bulls Nation. We'll continue the discussion of free agency and trade targets for the Chicago Bulls. Don't you worry. We also need to talk about some of the big boys on this team that I've still yet to talk about. We still got a lot more videos to come out. So that being said, have a wonderful and safe day, Bulls Nation. I'll see you in another Chicago Bulls video. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.